And it doesn't really surprise us, we knew that Trump, even fulfilling 1% of what he promises base of that which got him elected, was going to be a Hail Mary. We're not unprepared. We knew what was coming. If anyone tells you we didn't and that we were behooved by Trump and to supporting him, they're a bold-faced liar. And that's someone who insults your intelligence, and you should slap them on the spot, respectfully. Um,
A very respectable slap.
yeah.
Sir, you have insulted my honor.
Maybe you take off the glove,
Hmm.
you slap him with the glove or something.
Take off a work
Um,
glove.
yeah. But it's there's nothing in this, I think, because a tendency that I've seen liberals or even leftists make is to assume that this is all arbitrary, accidental, or just rooted in the idiosyncrasies of Trump and in his unique evil characteristics or whatever. No, this is the system. This is the system. Trump is nothing but a representation and an agent of the system in general. And if you call yourself any form of a Marxist and you still believe in the song and dance of different administrations having actually any will to do things that go contrary to the general trajectory of the system, if you want to call it the deep state, you can call it that. Yeah, it's just infantile, right? Everything for them is going basically according to plan. It's
Yeah.
following the same consistent logic. And if you focus too much on Trump or one or another administration, you're confusing the trees for the whole forest. All right. Um, and literally everyone on the non ACP left has done that. Because there was recently these protests, which maybe we can talk a little bit about the No King protest. George Soros funded, Democratic Party funded, promoted by the likes of Hillary Clinton and talk show hosts, like literally the most hegemonic creatures that you can imagine, are promoting this No Kings protest that had to change its name to No Tyrants when it took place in England because they don't even have the balls to be consistent and stand on principle. It's No King here in order to feed into our anti monarchical sensibilities. But when it comes to the Brits, yes, it's okay to have a king as long as he's not a so-called tyrannical one. But every organization on what calls itself the U.S. left, which we know is always has always been a fake left, a non-left, an anti-left left, the PSL, the CP, USA, the old dead Communist Party, now trying to be habilitated by mainstream media, but it's not going to work. They look like a joke too.
Oh, we should
Uh,
talk about that. That's
yeah, the RCA, Revolutionary Communist of American Trot bullshit group, the DSA, literally everyone that's not ACP in the US left went out to these No Kings protests, endorsed them, and completely fell for the Hillary Clinton, George Soros Democratic Party psyop. They stood next to people with Banderite signs, with Ukraine flags, with pro war sentiments, with signs that say that Russia is our enemy. I'm sorry, friends, but if you can't see how the translation of the class struggle onto a global scale means that Russia not only is not our enemy, but sides on the same side as the American working class, you're just not a Marxist. You don't understand what class struggle looks like and what it looks like in a global dimension. So, why do you think something like this
let
happened,
me
or why
interrupt
did
real
every
quick.
leftist fall for it?
Let me interrupt just real quick and then continue on. The reason they think that is that same mistake of liberal formalism. They think class struggle is X, Y, and Z rather than the form it takes being dictated by what gives rise to it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to toss it over to you. Yeah, I mean, whether we call it liberal formalism or the purity fetish or definition mongering, it's an obsession with a abstract, disconnected idea over and above the real messiness, contradictory character of the world.
Mm.
And the paradox is that this protest, which is presenting itself, which is feigning to be dissident and radical, I mean, some of these liberals are talking as if they're overthrowing the czars. It's so fucking ridiculous. But this, which is presenting itself as revolutionary to the point where organizations that claim to be revolutionary are joining in, is literally the establishment. Um, is as establishment as it gets. It's promoted by the establishment. It's funded by the establishment. It's organized by the establishment. And what are they mad? Uh, uh, what are they mad at Trump for? Their foreign policy is the same. The same news cable stations that endorse and highlight positively the No Kings protest in the same segment will agree completely with Trump's invasion of Venezuela and his assessment of Venezuela. So where's the disagreement? That he's not more hawkish against Russia? That he's not more open to immigration? I mean, realistically, the Koch brothers that back Trump, they all benefit from immigration and cheap undocumented labor. And if you look at deportation rates, they're less under Trump than Biden still. So what are they really mad at? They're just mad at the rhetoric. They're mad at how Trump makes empire look, at the symbolic component of it. They're not mad at Trump's actual policies because all of those are in continuity with the policies of the liberals.
Yeah, and you know, it's another like really horrible aspect of our ideology, and that is people getting angry at abstractions,
Mhm.
at words that the thoughts they bring up when you hear them are cartoons, right? Um, it's the same. Any rightist you ask about communism. Why do you hate communism? Well, Stalin ate everybody's baby and their baby's baby, and you're all at the same time wanting handouts and evil dictators who kill everyone who disagrees with you. Like that all comes up, and it's just an abstraction. It's an inability to look at the real world as it exists and take your notion of what words mean from that, and it becomes definition mongering. Like you said, I I explained that category I sort of came up with in my most recent article for Red America. Um, but it brings up sort of kind of a tinfoil hat theory I have. Now, I this is just what it feels like to me. I don't have the time to even begin researching this. But if you look at what forces in American society are called left wing, and you put that alongside this latest Israeli psyop of neo Nazis and Hitlerism, I think it's a relatively safe bet to put money on these people, including, dinosaurs like Joe Sims, the RCA, and other cartoons who just walk around the street waving hammers and sickles, right? I think they're being held up specifically because they are repellent, mockable, and genuinely stupid, because it pushes people right for their solutions to the problems we can no longer ignore. And right now, there is another thing ready made for people to look into, blaming it all on the Jews, right? And these people exist specifically, at least what I'm guessing, to create new Nazis, to push people into that. Well, the communists are all crazy and, blue haired weirdos. We want nothing to do with these people. So, what could the solution possibly be? Well, how about this Hitlerism, right? And that's what happens. And the fact that these people are so oblivious to the real world around them, I'm talking about the fake left now, so oblivious to the fact that nobody likes them, so oblivious, and this is very evident in the Joe Sims mainstream media thing, where with the coffee mugs, right? He was just a complete moron, and got played and mocked. But they're oblivious to all of this going on. The fact that they're that oblivious um, should tell us that they are not communists, they're not Marxists. If you know for a fact that what you're doing is alienating the entire working class and you want to put that working class in power, then you stop doing that thing. But they not only continue doing it, they double down on every single thing. They have not given up anything the American people have soundly rejected, not a single part of it. So, where does that leave us?
Yeah, and someone says here, when you have money, you can live in a delusional bubble. Necessity is what drives innovation, what drives people to have to think through what have we done wrong and how can we do things better. And they don't have necessity. A lot of them have very cushy salaries from the party, which has millions of dollars in assets. Um, and they don't have necessity. The ACP does. That's why, the ACP, all of its financial limitations, the fact that we started up with nothing, um, we're doing infinitely more with nothing financially than they are with millions of dollars that they're sitting on and in money and in assets. Necessity is what breeds the need to adapt uh, previous forms to new eras, previous content to give it new forms for the new era. That's necessity is what breeds that. And this isn't just a regular Marxist insight. You read Rousseau's discourse on inequality. He asked the question, why did humanity develop? It was because obstacles were presented at different moments to the human community, and those obstacles force ingenuity. Um, and the obstacle that we have right now is that everything's collapsing. There's no force that's preventing the collapse or shaping development in an alternative trajectory. The country's going down the drain. And if we don't get our shit together, which is what ACP is trying to do, build that ship for when that big storm, that big wave, that big flood comes, we're all going to drown.
Yeah, my biggest fear right now is that we don't have enough time. Maybe we don't. Hopefully we do, but maybe we don't. Right? My son's going to be an adult in a couple of years. What kind of world, what kind of society are we going to leave him and his generation? Are we going to, and this is a real question, it sounds corny, but are we going to leave this world better than we found it? Because right now, it's not only worse, it's a lot worse. I mean, look around. The ruling class is playing us like a fucking fiddle. It's ready for collapse. We are not.